What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and today we are back with something a little bit different. It's kind of like an Ark Insight, but kind of like a top 5 at the same time. So today we'll be showing you guys some taming pens that we use, and you know, they're pretty much the best ones that you can probably design, that we have come up with and that we've seen people use and everything. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. Now each of these traps, I guess you could say, has a different purpose, so each of them is suited for a different kind of tame. So the first one that we're going to get into, now these are in no particular order, they're just 5 of them that we actually use throughout the game. So this first one that we actually use is an RG trap. Now for this, all you need are 3 dinosaur gateways. Make sure everything that you use to build dinosaur traps are made out of stone. Because if they're not made out of stone, chances are they will most likely break. Because obviously dinosaur attacks will break stone. Will break wood, sorry. So what you need to do is, well, we've already kind of stuffed this up. What you need to do is you first need to line up where you want your RG trap to go, or your fly-ash trap. So if you can get, you know what, let's just start again. You know what, let's just start this again. Okay, so as we were saying, so you've got your dinosaur gateway. You want to place your first one down, right? Don't move from where you've placed that. You then want to select your next one, and you want to back up a little bit. You know, enough space for you to get in, but not enough space for the RG to escape. Now, normally you can just separate these by quite a little bit of an amount, but there you go. You then place your second one. You then want to go straight back again. Once again, you can see there we go. It's slowly going to change. There we go. And you want to separate it by about that. That is just about enough. Enough for the RG not to get out for, and then not enough for you to get in. You can separate these a little bit more if you want, and you can make them a little bit longer if you so choose to. You can see there. We'll separate a little bit more and make it a little bit larger. There we go. Now this is still enough room for you to get in and out, however the RG will not be able to escape from there. Next, what you need to do is you need to then chuck on the gates. There you go, you can see there, and there is your RG trap. Boom, that's your RG trap. Now depending on what way your doors open, that is the way that you are going to want to get your RG in. So you can see that this doorway opens inwards because we haven't flipped it properly. So what you need to do is you need to keep this one closed, and you want to bring the RG in from this direction through, like so, out into this gate or out into this exit. So because then what you can do is you can actually come back around and you can exit through here, come back around and close the door a lot easier from the outside. For example, if you were to try and kite it through this entryway, well, you have to go all the way into the enclosure like that to be able to shut the door. It saves time, it's easier, and there's less chance of the RG getting out if you do it from the doorway where they open up like that. So next up, what we need to do is we need to showcase to you guys this trap in effect. So what we need to do is we need to find an RG, if we can actually find any in the area. Normally this is a hotspot for RG spawns. And then what you need to do is kite it. Now, for those of you that don't know, and for those of you that do know, you can either skip ahead or you can watch. In order to kite a dinosaur to a specific point, a wild dinosaur, you have to ensure that it actually hits you. So if it doesn't hit you, it will lose interest and wander off, especially RGs. Alright, you can see down here, we've got an RG here. All we need to do is wait for it to notice us, really. There we go. You can see there, it's noticed us. Now, you can do 2 of these RGs at the same time. You do just have to be careful because sometimes the RGs can attack each other and that could ruin the taming effectiveness, especially if you plan on knocking one out and not the other. But you can see there, that first RG lost interest in us because we hadn't let it attack us. So if we come back over here, wait for it to attack us, it should keep interested in us. There we go. And you have to make sure, if you fly ahead, watch what will happen. These guys will just fly off, pretend like you never existed. They'll follow you for a little bit, and then they'll just fly their separate ways. And you can see there, they've already started to split off from each other, and split off from attacking us. So do make sure that you have a particular RG in mind. Make sure you can see it before you actually go in and try to kite it towards your trap. There we go. We don't want to attack this guy because we are on an extremely powerful griffin, and if we attack it, it'll kill it. But you can see there, this RG should start following us. There it is there. Like I said, make sure it attacks you, otherwise it won't follow you. Now, this trap can also be used for griffins, if you so choose to. However, you will need a pteranodon or like an RG for the actual griffin. You can do it on foot, however, be warned, they can fly and they can kill you. So it is a bit of a dangerous mission. However, we'll actually show you a different design for the griffin traps, which you can actually utilize a little bit better. But you can see here is the RG now. Now, there are 2 ways you can go about getting this RG in the trap. You can do so with your flying mount if you have one, or you can do it on foot. Now, what I normally do with my RGs is I normally fly around. Normally I'm on a pteranodon, so it's a little bit easier to control. But you can see that their turning radius causes them to turn quite a bit. So what you can do is you can simply just kite them around the trap, waiting for them to actually land into it. I'll try and show you here, which is what we do normally. Or you can just fly around to the other side. Okay, maybe we shouldn't get a griffin. We're going to spawn in a pteranodon because griffins are annoying to use. Okay, so like I was saying, if you can get the RG kited onto you, there we go. Now, griffins aren't as easy to control as pteranodon when it comes to this kind of maneuver. So all you need to do pretty much is fly with your pteranodon. There we go. Now, you can kite him around by using his turning radius against him, and he'll actually kite him into the taming pen. There you go there. You can see there, that is one way to do it. Now, another way that we'll be showing you is the much easier way. So once you've got your RG trapped in the taming pen, you can see there that he's able to fly out, which, you know, you obviously don't want that. You want these guys to stay in there long enough for you to go around to the other side and close the gate. Now, another method that you could use is you could fly straight over the trap, fly down, and the RG should fly straight into it. Unless, of course, it flies over it. In this case, what you need to do is you need to actually come back a little bit more of a distance. Make sure it still has the ability to attack you. There's normally about a 15-second cooldown, I've noticed, before they need to attack you before they start flying off. So if we come back here, let him attack us, you can see that you can fly straight away. There we go. Now, like I said, it is easier if you fly straight on, because you can see there is the RG trapped, and all you need to do is jump off, land, and run around to the gate. Boom. Close the gate. You now have your RG trapped. You can see that he's not able to get out through that gap, but you can still easily walk in. You can still trank him in the head, do whatever you want. He doesn't even seem to attack you, so it's great. Now, the other way, obviously, is you could do it on foot, whereas you just park your pteranodon over here, wait for the RG to come, try and shoot it with your trank arrow or long neck. Should attack on you, open the gate, let it come in, run through the side, go back around and close the gate. But you can already see that this RG is out. Now, you can do it another way, obviously without your pteranodon through this. You just need to wait for it to come onto you, but you can see you can just use their turning radius against them and kite them into the trap. Look, you'll see here, there we go. And we can kite him around if we're fast enough. We're not fast enough, however, but look, this is the method I'm talking about, where you do it on foot. Get your ass over here, RG. Seriously? Come on, come face us. But you can see that if we had that door open, the RG would have actually flown in and gotten stuck in the trap. Alright, we're going to move on from this trap. You guys can get the gist of it. It's pretty simple to utilize. You can use it for griffins as well, but we will be showing you a better griffin one later down the line. So this next one pretty much is for your large carnivores. Spinos, T-Rexes, Allosauruses, anything that you can think of. What you're going to need first is a behemoth gate. You can see there we've got the behemoth gate down. Now this next part is completely optional to you. You can either use foundations or you can use fence foundations. Either way, I don't feel like it makes too much of a difference. I like using foundations because it's a little bit easier to see. But all you need to do is just place your foundations in line with the behemoth gate. And we've picked a horrible place to build this behemoth gate because it doesn't even bloody snap. Now, this is why a lot of people like using the fence foundations instead, because you don't have to worry about things trying to snap and stuff trying to place with the foundations. Sometimes they can be very buggy, especially if you're not building on a straight, flat area. But as long as you've got the main foundations down, you can switch over to fence foundations if you want to. You know, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But the next part that you're actually going to need for this are door frames. That's right, not regular walls, door frames. Now, the difference between door frames and walls is that you can obviously run through the door frames. Now, this makes it easier because you can actually shoot things through the door frame as well. Make sure you build it relatively high, otherwise these guys will be able to get out. Normally 3 high is plenty high enough for whatever you need to tame, especially the large carnivores and the large herbivores, but make sure you build it like so. You can see there we're building 3 high. Now, obviously this is a little bit of a broken design because, well, the foundations didn't place properly and they didn't place correctly. However, like I said, it's best off if you just use fence foundations. Stone foundations are good, but, you know, if you don't have the right way of doing so, if you don't have the right flat terrain, fence foundations are definitely your way to go. But you can see, you just want to build it with door frames, sorry. There we go, you can see there. Now, what these door frames effectively do is they actually prevent the dinosaur from getting out. Now, you can see there we go. Now, if we place these here, they're just like that. Perfect. And there you go. You now have your own large carnivore / herbivore taming pen. So what you need to do now is simply place the dinosaur gate, open it up, try and open it so that the doors open the other way. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Then you want to find what you need to tame. So it could be a Bronto, it could be a Rex, a Spino, you know, whatever, Allosauruses even. anything that can fit through the behemoth gate, you're essentially able to tame. Now you can also use this taming pen to drop tames in with an argy. So for example, if you want to tame up ankies or dodicaruses, simply fly them over, drop them into the pen, and they won't be able to escape through the door frame. Now shoot at whatever you want to tame up and kite it towards your taming pen. You can see we've got this Bronto on its merry way to us. All you need to do is walk between the door frames and he'll actually be stuck. Now the Bronto shouldn't be able to get over these. There you go, you can see there the Bronto is unable to, and all you need to do, come in here, close the gate, and the Bronto is now stuck in there. He has no way of escaping, and he's pretty much effectively stuck in there. You can then trank him, do whatever the heck you want to him, knock him out, and tame him up in this pen. This is one of the easiest ways to tame up large carnivores, just a behemoth gate, fence foundations, and stone door frames. That is all you need in order to trap these things. You can see he's trying to hit us, not even close. He doesn't have a chance of hitting us, and you can do this with Rexes, Spinos, Allos, everything I already mentioned earlier, and, you know, just wait for them to get knocked out, and you'll easily have yourselves up a tame. So, that is the trap number 2 on this list. We're going to move on to some of the other traps. So this next trap now, you can either use foundations if you want, or you can use fence foundations. And look, we've got our perfect candidate. So for this trap, you'll only need foundations or fence foundations, the door frames, and some ramps. Now, I normally build these about 3x3 because this trap is designed for these. Can you just calm down? This trap is designed mainly for like your smaller herbivores and carnivores. So, for example, you've got your raptors, you've got your megatheriums, your chalicotheriums, you know, your your gigantopithicuses, whatever you can think of that'll fit into this. The diabears even, whatever the heck you want. Now, all you need to do, stick on your fence foundations or your foundations, chuck on your door frames. Oh god, this is bugging me. Alright. Okay. So all you need to do is chuck on your door frames. Normally I go about 2 high with these ones because you're not going to be trying to kite Rexes into this or anything. I mean, you possibly could if you wanted to. It is possible. However, you would want to just make your door frames 3 high, and you want to probably split it out into a 4x4. That'll make it a lot easier to tame them up. So there we go. You can see there, once you've got your 2 high fence foundation, your door frame, sorry, there we go. Boom. All you need to do is get your ramps. Once you've got your ramps, get them stuck to the top layer of the door frames. Make them come down to the next level. There we go. Now you can see there, that is effectively you running, going straight through the door frame and getting out. Now you can make this 1 high if you so choose to. However, do be careful. Some dinos can get out if they choose to. However, another thing that you want to take into note is that you actually need to run straight on into this. You'll see here, we've got this theory coming after us. You want to run straight onto it to ensure that you have the highest chance of them landing in your trap. Now, sometimes you might get the case where they actually fly over, which we normally do sometimes. Wait for the theory to come in. He's lost interest in us. Come back here. There we go. Get his attention again. Now, you can obviously walk slower if you have the means to tank it. However, if you don't, you will obviously want to run. But there we go. You can see there the Therizinosaurus is now in the stone trap. Now, all you need to do, just trank him out and you'll have yourself a new tame. Now, like I said, you can do this with a lot of the smaller based carnivores and herbivores. Your megatheriums, your diabears, your raptors, your carnos, even allos fit into this taming pen really easily. So it all comes down to what you want to do in personal preference. This one here is a very low profile one. If you're playing on an official server, this is definitely one of the best ones to go about doing things. You can easily tame up Rexes in this as well. You just need to extend it a little bit and you'll be as good as gold. But you can easily use this to drop Dodics and Ankies in as well with the Quetzals or Argies or whatever. So you can easily use this one as well instead of using the Behemoth one. It all comes down to what you prefer to use and whether or not you're located on an official server or your own kind of server. But you can see here, the Therizinosaurus has no way of getting out. And once he's knocked out, all you need to do is tame him up. And then to simply get them out, all you need to do is demolish a set of door frames and you'll be sweet. There you go. You can see here. Now, the good thing about these traps as well is that they are safe from predators as well. They shouldn't get attacked. Even when they're glitched out like this, they won't actually get attacked because their body is technically still inside the stone door frames. Alrighty, so this next trap is very similar to the Argy trap that you saw us do earlier. However, this one you can still use for Argies, but I find this one is a little bit easier to use for Griffins. So all you need to do is you need some pillars, a gate frame once again, and the door, and you also need the some ceilings, some stone ceilings. Now ensure that this is all made out of stone, otherwise you'll find that they can escape, and you definitely do not want that on your hands. So you want to put some pillars down. Now normally 3 deep is plenty, however you can obviously do more if you so choose to. There we go, and you can see you want to design them like so. There we go, and you can see there that, whoops. Now the griffin shouldn't have a way of getting out of that gap there. He shouldn't be able to escape. You do want to make it about 2 high because you'll see why shortly. There we go. Oh, okay, 3 high then there for that one. There we go. So 2 high here. Now once you've made these pillars 2 high, all you need to do is chuck on some ceilings, which you can do from here. There we go, and you can see there, chuck some ceilings on. Now what these ceilings effectively do is they stop the griffin from flying out through the top, which, you know, is great. Now, so you can see here that sometimes the ground's a little bit funny, so it's made it that it's going to be too low. The griffin should be able to fly into this, however, it may be difficult for it to line it up. So what you can do if that's the case, you just demolish these ceilings once again, and you just place them on the top of the pillars. You'll see us do it shortly. So if you do have that problem, all you need to do is make the ceilings at the top. This will still prevent the griffin from escaping, and it still lines up with the gate frame. Now you can see there's a little tiny gap there. Not to worry about it because the griffin won't be able to escape. Now all you need to do is find yourself a griffin and bring it back to the taming pen. Make sure the door is open for yourself, otherwise it will be slightly difficult in order to get it back to the trap. Now you can see here we've got ourselves a wild griffin. We're going to bring him back to the trap if he can. There we go, we've got his attention now. Make sure they do attack you, otherwise, like I said, they will lose attention, especially griffins. They are notorious for just flying off on their own and doing whatever the heck they bloody dandy. Now, where is he? There he is there. You can see he's still on us. So all you need to do is come back to your trap. You're going to attack us, big guy? There you go, and all you need to do is run straight into your trap. Now, sometimes, you can see there, he's got a turning radius and he's being distracted. So it can be a little bit difficult. Griffins themselves are really annoying to try and control and get into traps. But here we go. You can see here, he should be after us, or is he going to come after this Dillo? You should be able to run straight ahead and get him into the trap. There we go there. You can see he's now in the trap. All you need to do is get out and close your gate. You now have yourself a wild griffin. Now, obviously, instead of going through the trap, you would actually go out and around to close the gate. I just went through the trap because, well, I would survive it. However, if you did it with a wild griffin, you probably wouldn't survive the attack, so do take that into mind as well. But you can see here the griffin is unable to fly out, which is great. This is just a bit of a different trap if you don't like the 4 dinosaur gateway. This trap is also slightly cheaper than the stone dinosaur gate frame trap, so it all comes down to your personal preference. But this is just one of the other traps that you guys can use to tame up other creatures. Now you can also use this trap to tame up land creatures as well, such as these ones. You don't need to worry about that because you've built it with pillars. All you need to do is open up the gate, run straight through, get the creature in, run out the side. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Do take into note though, some of these smaller creatures will be able to squeeze out through the gaps, such as your raptors, maybe your Carnos. I'm not 100% sure about the Carnos fitting through a 1 wide pillar gap, but there are creatures that will fit through those gaps. The griffin, on the other hand, definitely will not fit. This is the go-to trap I use for taming up griffins or knocking them out. Just the pillars, the ceilings, and the dinosaur gate frame. All you need to do then is stand here, knock it out. Okay, now one difference you can make to this trap if you don't feel comfortable with leaving a dinosaur surrounded by stone door frames, which, you know, you're worried about, say something could get in there and attack them while you're taming it. Well, there's an easy fix for that. Personally, I've never had a problem with using stone door frames and things coming in to attack it. I've never had a tame lose taming effectiveness for something coming in and attacking it. But if you are worried about that, all you need to do is swap out the door frames for a window frame. If you swap out the window frames, that'll easily prevent anything from attacking it. You know, there is still the odd chance of Dillos getting in here and attacking it, but Dillos don't attack anything other than you, really, and only other small carnivores and herbivores. So you don't really have too much to worry about, like, they only attack really dodos. So if you want, just put window frames, and that'll actually make it safer for your dino in the tame. And then just leave one of these with a door frame and a door for you to walk in and close behind you so that your dino is completely safe. Well, we've got one more taming pen to show you guys, and that'll pretty much conclude this video. So you can see this taming pen down here is still working effectively. The Bronto hasn't managed to escape whatsoever, and you can use this taming pen with the Spino or the T-Rex. You don't even need to extend it out as far as I did. You can just go straight back from the Behemoth gate and close it off like that to save resources. So this next one requires a raft, and this is pretty much what you're going to use to go through rivers and, you know, the swamp and tame up anything that you see in there. Now on Ragnarok, there aren't really any inland rivers that you can use this on, aside from the canyon area. However, on the island, if you're near the redwoods or whatnot, you can use this raft over there. So first off, what you're going to want to do is you need to line up your foundations. But first, the one thing that you want to do first is you actually want to lower your foundations. Now to do so, all you need to do is drop a foundation on the raft. There we go, you can see there. You then want to put a pillar inside your foundation. Now what this actually does is this causes the next foundation to drop. If you can get the right angle, there you go, you can see there, the next foundation is actually lowered. Now it can be a bit of an annoying issue, but once you get it to your selected height, you can even take that lower than what we've got it set to so that it actually sits just above the raft. But this height is still a very decent height. So what you need to do once you've finished lowering your foundations is demolish all your old foundations. So you can see here that's what we're doing. Now your one lowered foundation won't actually demolish because it's foundations. They can survive being on their own. But like I said, you can then choose to drop it again if you want. However, there we go. You can see there, that is even lower. That's pretty much in line with the thingy. You don't actually need to do a big circle of it. You can just do it between two foundations and then constantly go back and forth. Honestly, that way is probably easier than the other way. There we go. And you can see that's even lowered. All you need to do, demolish again. Place your pillar. Everyone should know how to lower foundations by now in Ark anyway. It's been out for quite a bit of time. And that is the height that you want to go for. There you go there. You can see that that is pretty much perfectly in line with the raft boat, and it actually protects the raft at the same time. Now all you need to do is go around placing your foundations. There we go. You can see there we're placing our foundations without any problems. If anything, it's less of a problem because, well, now we've got extra height. However, we haven't actually moved it over enough. God damn it, we went into all that effort to lower the bloody foundations, and we can't move it over. Okay, so pretend there's a third one out here, and pretty much all you need to do is then get your window frames, chuck your window frames around the outsides. You know, you can do it here because all you need is that. There we go. And then with this one, you either want to do, you can either do door frames the whole way around, or you can do window frames. It's entirely up to you guys. However the heck you want to build this. This is just the way we do it. There you go. And all you need to do is chuck that there. Perfect. There you go there. Now you can see that you've actually got a completable raft. And all you need to do is then add an extra layer of windows. There we go. Extra layer so nothing can actually escape. Now these foundations over here, you don't want to put anything on because these are going to be your taming foundations where you can stand where you actually want to shoot in through the windows. Note to self, you can actually use the door frames as well. It all comes down to your personal preference and what you'd like to use. This is the surefire way. Nothing will actually get attacked this way. So then what you need to do is get yourselves your ramps. Get your ramps up there. There we go. And snap those to the top. Boom, bada boom. And you can simply still come through here. Drive your raft. There you go. And you can see no problems whatsoever. Now with this, you can go around through the swamp. Taming up Baryonyxes, taming up Diplocalyces, taming up Caprosuchosauruses, Sarcos, whatever the heck you want, you name it, you can tame them up using this boat. You can then transport this boat anywhere where there is water, and you'll actually be good to tame anything up, like I said. Now, one thing that you can do differently that I probably should have done, but this is just the way we do it, so it makes it a little bit easier to see where we're going, is you can actually swap the direction of the wooden ramps. If you swap the direction of the wooden ramps, it will make it a little bit easier to park your boat around and just to bring stuff into it because obviously you've got the front and you can steer where your ramps are going. However, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. You know, you can still utilize this to tame up whatever the heck you want. For example, where did that Baryonyx go? There is a Baryonyx just around here. I'll show you how easy it is to pull in anything into your trap as soon as we find whatever we were looking for. Alrighty, so we've got the Baryonyx there. There he is there. You can see we're going to kite him around. He kind of just got a little bit haywire and went for our boat instead of us. We have a leech on our face. Nothing I can do about that. But all you need to do is simply run straight up the boat, go through your hatch frame, your door frame on the other side, and the baryonyx should follow suit straight away. There you go. You can see there, however, do make sure you've got it too high. You don't want anything escaping. But there he is. He's got no way of getting out. I don't know what he's actually... Is he attacking the raft? Doesn't matter. He's not going to do any considerable damage to it. All you need to do from here is simply trank it once you can survive getting out. Oh my god, this is why I hate coming to the swamp. All you need to do then is you can either stand at the top of your ramp up here and shoot at him, or you can simply walk along the side of your raft if you can stop glitching through Arc. Bloody hell. Like I was saying, you can then walk along the side of your raft, come around to the back, and here you go. There you go, you have the baryonyx. You can shoot through the windows, you can shoot through the door frame. However, if you're scared of getting hit, or you don't want to get hit, obviously you have to imagine that this is a 3x3 as well, since it didn't work. You can just come to the top simply, and just shoot him from up here. There you go. Once you've got your baryonyx stuck, or whatever the heck you want to tame, Caprosuchosaurus, Sarcos, you know, you can then just trank them out with whatever you want to use, and they will be fine, and they'll be stuck in the boat with nowhere to go. You can see this baryonyx is pretty much out. Now, if you're not happy with shooting at the top of the ramp, which is probably the easiest way of doing so, if you're not happy sitting at the top of your raft on top of the ramp, all you need to do is come around the side and simply sit down here, and you can easily shoot him from here through the windows. Do take into note that this raft would have been an extra foundation wide. However, we just screwed it up at the beginning and lowered all the foundations, and to be honest with you, we didn't really want to try and relower all the foundations in, because it's a very strenuous process. But once you've got the baryonyx, or whatever the heck you want to tame, set into that position, all you need to do is come back into your raft, get over the bloody unconscious dino, and you can take him on your merry way to wherever the heck where your base is, and tame him up like so. That's really easy to do so. So guys, this works with everyone and every dino that you can fit into the pen. You can make it a 3x3 like I said, however, it just stuffed up for us. So yeah guys, that'll conclude today's video. Let me know what you thought of the taming pens. Let me know if you'd used any of them. Let me know if you guys have any taming pens yourself that you use more so. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. I got this soda.